It's a very unpredictable and sad situation, but we want to make sure that the scene is safe.
Right now, a fire and explosion levels a home near Middleton, leaving 2 people dead. What investigators know at this hour. Plus, a big boost for Wisconsin startups. The details on millions of dollars to help entrepreneurs in this state. And no verdict after day 1 of deliberations in former President Trump's so-called hush money trial. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. About a half hour after we got off air last night, a home near the Middleton Airport caught fire and exploded. Happened about 11 at a home off Capitol View Road, just outside the Middleton city limits in the town of Springfield. By daylight, well, this is what remained of that property. The Dane County Sheriff's Office saying this blast killed 2 people, although they have not yet been identified by the medical examiner at this time. Now, here's what else we know from investigators. The sheriff's office says first responders arrived to find the house engulfed in flames. That fire may have set off ammunition being stored inside the home, possibly helping that explosion, but that cause has not been determined yet. And because of the sound of the ammunition going off, some residents did report hearing gunfire, but authorities say no shots were fired. But that did leave a major mess for cleanup crews tasked with clearing that scene.
As you see, it's very unstable. There's nails, there's debris, there's insulation, there's bullets, there's ammunition everywhere. And as our team is going through there, you see there's flare-ups as well.
The blast shook Capitol View Road and the surrounding area. One neighbor telling us people were confused as to what was happening since the blast woke some of them up.
Oh, it was just a huge explosion. It rocked the house. It woke up all the neighbors on the street. The whole woods were on fire. And we didn't know what happened because we were sleeping.
Now, there were initial concerns this may have been caused by a natural gas line, but Madison Gas and Electric says they only provide electric services to that particular residence, not natural gas, so the cause really not known yet. And last night's breaking news is once again a reminder to make sure you have our Channel 3000 mobile app downloaded to your phone. Get it for free. Turn on your push alerts so you never miss a major story happening in your neighborhood. Well, as we wait to learn the exact cause of this blast, questions are still swirling about what part that extra ammunition may have played in the explosion. Our Braden Ross sat down with an expert to learn how you can make sure your ammunition is stored safely. Braden?
Yeah, when fire crews first got to this scene of this fire last night, it was already big enough to lead them to proceed with extra caution. And that was before they started hearing gunshots.
Everybody, please proceed with caution. We are about 2 miles out. We can see flames and smoke from here.
That was the message out to first responders as they rushed to the scene of a large home explosion just outside Middleton late Tuesday night.
House completely down, appears to have been a large explosion. House is fully engulfed.
But before they could even reach the flames,
All Middleton fire units, back down, do not approach. We've got heavy gunfire.
it turns out it was gunfire those first responders were hearing, but not because someone was shooting.
There's bullets, there's ammunition everywhere.
Dane County Sheriff Calvin Barrett confirmed to News 3 Now the home did have ammunition inside, which, if set off by a fire, can sound like gunshots.
There was some ammunition there, which is typical, right? Typical in this area is nothing that was out of the ordinary.
I would, venture to guess that it's probably a good amount of people. It's probably an afterthought, maybe, right? Because it's not particularly dangerous without the firearm.
Corey Eliason is a firearms instructor at Vortex Edge in Barneveld. He says while the ammunition itself isn't likely to cause harm outside the barrel of a gun, storing it safely is still important.
Firearm, that's an easy one, obviously in the gun safe at home. And ammunition is the same way, though, too. We want to keep that in a safe, ideally because it's dry, and then also it prevents corrosion and things like that.
His advice, when it comes to safe storage, just don't let ammo be an afterthought.
Maybe give it a little bit of thought. As much as you do storage of a firearm could potentially go a long way.
Now, ammunition can be especially dangerous in a fire if it's loaded into a firearm or kept in a metal container.
Braden, thank you. A pleasant day across southern Wisconsin, but will these mild temperatures stick around? Meteorologist Jacob Madison joins us now with a first warn forecast. Jacob?
Yeah, it was another, or I shouldn't say another, but it was a very quiet day here in Wisconsin, a definitely much needed quiet day, and that's going to be the case for tomorrow as well. Very clear on radar, looking at the current conditions, clear skies, temperatures right now in the upper 50s to lower 60s across the region, lower 50s and even a few locations in the 40s out near Lake Michigan, so it is a bit chillier for folks off to the east, but the central and western portion of southern Wisconsin, very quiet and pretty close to average right now, upper 50s to lower 60s, as I mentioned. The high temperatures today, they did reach around 70 degrees here in Madison, middle 70s off to the west, but temperatures were still a little bit below average today. But with the sun shining and the very little wind, conditions were very pleasant outside. And looking at the overnight forecast, it is going to be a chilly one, as temperatures are going to remain below average. Lows will be dropping into the middle 40s, so it will be a cool morning. But then in the afternoon, high temperatures will be back near 70. It will be a very similar day compared to today. But I'll talk more in detail about our next rain chance coming up a little bit later.
All right, Jacob, thank you. A big boost today for Wisconsin startups comes in the form of a new investment announced by Governor Tony Evers. He was joined by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Secretary and CEO Missy Hughes. They revealed the next step forward for entrepreneurs in the state. It's called the Wisconsin Investment Fund, and it consists of $100 million in private and public ventures. The investment fund was announced at Forward Biolabs, which has helped launch several successful startups.
To date, we've served over 45 companies, about 3/4 of which are in med tech or biohealth, and 1/4 of which are in other industries, ag tech, clean tech, and related industries. These companies have amassed $360 million in investment and grants.
This fund is receiving money by matching private and public funds. For every public dollar put forward, a private fund will match it. The man says he was robbed and carjacked this morning at a Madison Park and Ride parking lot, and now police are investigating. It happened at Collins Court at the Dutch Mill Park and Ride off East Broadway on the city's southeast side. The victim says he dropped off his vehicle when two men were hiding in the bushes. They confronted him and asked him for his possessions. The man said he didn't have anything. He says they then hit him in the head with a pistol, took his keys, and stole his vehicle. Also new, a 24-year-old Reedsburg man was arrested for firing a gun on Sunday. It led to a large disturbance in the early morning hours. Gerson Charinos Munguia is facing a felony charge of second-degree recklessly endangering safety and 2 misdemeanor charges. Officers say they received phone calls about 1 a.m. Sunday with reports of someone shooting a gun on Silver Drive. At the scene, 2 guns, shell casings, and ammunition were recovered. Munguia was arrested after officers spoke with witnesses and reviewed some video evidence. Next at 10, 2 men wanted for shooting someone earlier this month in Beloit have been arrested more than 250 miles away in Fort Wayne, Indiana. Beloit police say 42-year-old Teray Vance and 37-year-old Kevin Payne, both of Beloit, are suspects in a shooting that happened on Dewey Street back on May 11th. The victim remains in critical condition at a hospital. Both Vance and Payne remain jailed in Indiana tonight. They are awaiting extradition to Rock County. Staying in Beloit now, where police say an officer was attacked by a man this afternoon. Officers were responding to a call on Oak Street when they encountered the man who they say was acting aggressively. During the attack, a gun was discharged, but no one was hit. Officers were able to get control of the man and arrest him. The incident remains under investigation. Jurors in the so-called hush money trial of former President Donald Trump spent their first day deliberating. They finished with no verdict today. They will be back at it again tomorrow. As Michael George explains, the jury is already sending notes to the judge.
Former President Donald Trump offered some parting thoughts outside the courtroom after the first day of jury deliberations.
It's a disgrace. This thing ought to be ended immediately. The judge ought to end it.
The 12 Manhattan jurors, 7 men and 5 women, spent about 5 hours deliberating. No cell phones allowed, but they have access to a laptop containing all the evidence.
It's a pretty extraordinary experience because you have people from all walks of life, all kinds of different diverse backgrounds, who are now charged with making this very important decision. They're also, quite frankly, very aware that the world is watching them.
Before beginning deliberations, Judge Juan Merchan gave jurors strict instructions to set aside any opinions and bias in reaching their verdict. He laid out the 34 counts Trump faces and showed the documents related to the payments to adult film star Stormy Daniels, 11 invoices from Trump's ex-lawyer Michael Cohen, 11 checks, 9 of them signed by Trump, and 12 entries in the Trump Organization's ledger. The presumptive Republican presidential nominee is charged with falsifying business records in order to hide an alleged sexual encounter from the voting public just before the 2016 elections. Trump has denied the encounter took place. Before their day ended, the jurors sent a note to the judge asking to hear the judge's jury instructions read back to them, as well as testimony from 2 key witnesses. Specifically, they want to hear what former National Enquirer publisher David Pecker and Michael Cohen said about a Trump Tower meeting in August 2015. Pecker says they came to an agreement with Trump himself about a scheme to kill negative stories about him. The judge indicated those passages will be read back to the jury Thursday. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
If you're accused of driving with a suspended license, you probably shouldn't show up to a virtual court hearing while driving. But that's exactly what happened during one hearing in Michigan earlier this month, and the judge couldn't hide his shock. Here's what happened.
No, I'm looking at his record. He doesn't have a license. He's suspended and he's just driving.
That is correct, Your Honor.
I don't even know why he would do that. So defendant's bond is revoked in this matter. Defendant is to turn himself into the Washtenaw County Jail by 6 p.m. today. Failure to turn himself in will result in a bench warrant with no bond.
Court records show the defendant, Corey Harris, was charged with driving with a suspended license back in October of last year. More local stories are ahead at 10. A hearing tomorrow could lead to the creation of an overdose drop-in center in Dane County. We'll share how it could help residents struggling with addiction if approved. Stay with us.
Tina, the Tina Turner Musical. See her triumphant story and prepare to be ecstatically blown away. Direct from Broadway. Playing June 11th through 16th at Overture Center. Tickets at overture.org.
Ruggability. We straight made that word up. How else to describe the otherwise indescribable, rugged, capable, incredible versatility and affordability of a Honda SUV? Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com calls Honda the best value brand. Car and Driver calls Honda the winningest brand in 10 best history. But we like ruggability, and you'll like the incredifantabulous deals, so see your Wisconsin Heartland Honda dealer today. Honda gets Wisconsin.
Want to instantly look more attractive and years younger? The solution is whiter teeth. But you love coffee and tea, maybe even wine or smoking. It's time you discovered Power Swabs.
The first time I tried it, my husband was so excited. And he said, I can't believe how white your teeth are. From that point on, I've been sold.
Power Swabs are guaranteed to whiten your teeth up to 2 shades after the first application. After 5-minute daily treatments for the next week, your teeth will be an average of 6 shades whiter. Call this Memorial Day to receive 50% off.
It's Empire Today's biggest sale, the 50-50-50 sale. 50% off carpet and flooring, 50% off padding and materials, and 50% off installation.
800-588-2300 Empire.
Today.
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
You may not know what to make of Eric Hovde, but if you're getting older or have a loved one who is, Eric Hovde has a plan for you. Eric Hovde thinks people living in nursing homes should not have the right to vote. That's right.
If you're in a nursing home, you only have 5-6 month life expectancy. Almost nobody in a nursing home is in a point to vote.
Stripping seniors of the right to vote? Eric Hovde, what's wrong with this guy?
Save during the big Hy-Vee brand sale. 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday. Hy-Vee large eggs, just $1.49. Hy-Vee waffles, just $1.48. Hy-Vee bacon, just $3.98. Party size Hy-Vee chips, just $1.98. Hy-Vee peanut butter, just $1.68. And Hy-Vee coffee, just $3.48. Don't miss the big Hy-Vee brand sale. 3 days only, this Friday through Sunday.
On the Jennifer Hudson Show, we've got Pam Grier.
I love a good old mug. This is fabulous. I keep my whiskey in mine.
Plus, a chef who saw beyond his circumstances.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
Tomorrow, the Dane County Board Health and Human Needs Committee will hear a proposal to create an overdose drop-in center. It was recommended by a subcommittee to look into the matter last month. Funding would come from the National Opioid Settlement reached in 2022. District 2 Supervisor Heidi Wegleitner tells us that a center for harm prevention from drug use is critically needed.
It's a place where people can go to get these critical services, as well as new services like drug checking. To see if your drugs are deadly, you know, if you're taking what you think you're taking. I mean, that will save lives.
Well, the center, if created, would serve moms, babies, older black men, queer individuals, as well as others most impacted by opioids. Walgreens slashing prices to lure back inflation-weary shoppers turned off by high prices. The pharmacy chain announced it's cutting prices on over 1,500 items, both online and in-store. The price cuts apply to both name brands and store brands. Consumers aren't shopping like they used to. High prices are forcing them to look for deals and choose between their wants and needs, so retailers are now trying to rev up spending by lowering prices. For the first time in 4 years, all licensed dairy producers here in Wisconsin will have the opportunity to fill out the Wisconsin Dairy Producer Survey. The Department of Ag, Trade, and Consumer Protection announcing today that the 2024 Producer Survey has now been mailed to all producers. They want them back by June 30th. DATCAP officials say producers can complete the survey by returning the printed version and using the postmarked return envelope included in the mailing, or they can use the QR code in the top right corner of the page 1 of that survey and simply do it online. A summary will be released and then shared on the DATCAP website. A new study shows something interesting about empathy. It can actually be taught. Researchers studied 184 people for 2 decades, starting as young teenagers. Now, through a series of interviews with mothers, teens, and one of the teens' friends, they found empathy shown by mothers predicts empathy shown by kids to their friends. Researchers found empathy from a mother to be most important at 13 years old. Moving ahead, teens who show greater empathy went on to be more supportive of their own children. Psychologists say the key to being empathetic with your kids is fairly simple: look and listen more. Well, this has been an historic year for severe weather in the state so far. While we can't stop tornadoes, of course, we can get a better understanding of how they're formed thanks to technology. Our Catherine Merck caught up with one severe weather expert right here in Madison.
A UW-Madison scientist is behind novel research to study tornadoes and storms.
I spent a lot of time just banging away at the computer.
Some scientists study severe weather after it happens on the ground. Lee Orff looks at them through a supercomputer.
I've found a way to bring these storms to life that other researchers haven't.
Computers allow him to build 10-meter resolution models that can directly simulate tornadoes.
I will do what I can to bring those storms to life so that scientists can see the intricate details of what happens when tornadoes form, and once they form, how they behave, and then how they decay.
We've had 22 tornadoes in the state of Wisconsin so far this year.
Yeah, this year has been a big year, I will say.
As we continue to trend toward record numbers of tornadoes and thunderstorms, he wants his work to keep communities safe.
The overarching goal of a lot of research like what I do is we understand the storm better so that we can predict it better, so that we can issue warnings for tornadoes before they occur and not issue false alarm.
Make sure to continue to check in with our First Warn weather team for the latest updates. Reporting from UW-Madison's campus, I'm Catherine Merck, News 3 Now.
Well, we know strong winds from storms and tornadoes can knock down trees. It can also apparently push commercial airliners. That video out last night from Dallas-Fort Worth International Airport. A 737, by the way, 91,000 pounds empty. Storms there last night brought in destructive winds so strong that it was able to blow that aircraft away from that jetway there by nearly 90 degrees. Back here in Wisconsin, we'll take today's weather over anything like that. Meteorologist Jacob Madison back with another check of the First Warn forecast. Jacob?
Yeah, you said it, and we're pretty much not expecting any tornadoes for the rest of this week, although we could see some severe weather next week, but no alert days are in the forecast. So taking a look at the 3 things you need to know, we're going to see plenty of sunshine for Thursday, very similar to today, in fact, but we are going to see those temperatures remain a little cool, especially during the morning hours, where during sunrise, we'll see temperatures in the 40s. Our next chance of rain will come Friday night and could impact parts of your Saturday. Taking a look at the current radar, very dry, and that has been the case throughout much of the day and will be the case for tomorrow. Taking a look at the forecast again, plenty of sunshine, highs near 70, another very nice day, although still below average for this time of the year. Very comfortable nonetheless. Taking a look at the rainfall forecast, we are going to see more cloud cover on Friday, but much of our area should actually stay dry. Now, we could see a few showers to the west of Madison during the evening, but most of the rain for our area will enter the region during the overnight hours and impact us during the morning. Now, as we get into the late morning and early afternoon Saturday, the rain will start to clear out of the area. So places to the west will see it clear out earlier, and places to the east will have it a bit later. But our entire area should be dry by the time we get to the late afternoon and evening. And then by the time we get to Sunday, we actually are expecting dry conditions. Yesterday, we said that there could be some storms Sunday, but it looks like the rain next week will hold off until Monday. we could see some severe weather Monday, but overall, rainfall the next 7 days will be light. Only going to see about 1/4 inch to a 1/2 inch. Places to the west of Madison in our viewing area could see maybe about 3/4 inch of rainfall. But overall, the heaviest rain will stay off in Iowa and Minnesota. We'll definitely take the break from the rain, considering most of our area no longer under a drought, and a few locations are actually under flood warnings and flood watches, so some places are getting a little too much rainfall. But looking specifically at those rain chances, best chance will be Friday night into early Saturday, and then again as we get towards the early portion of next week. Monday will be the best chance for storms next week. The good news is that temperatures are going to warm up to near 80. At least good news for those of you that like the warmer temperatures. I'll stick with the temperatures we've been seeing today and the rest of this week. But highs will be back in the lower 80s as we get towards next week. But as we look at the 8 to 14 day temperature outlook, it's starting to suggest that we could see some temperatures dropping back below average. Now, we're likely talking about temperatures that occurred today and tomorrow, so nothing generally cold, but still remaining below average. So just want to point out, for those of you that are excited for the 80s next week, it may not last into the middle portion of June. But nonetheless, we're still going to see plenty of days in the 80s next week. We also have a few chances of storms, especially Monday, and then again Tuesday. More rain is possible on Wednesday. But for the rest of this week, outside of that rain Friday night into early Saturday, we're looking fairly calm. We'll be right back.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Festa Italia, June 1st and 2nd in McKee Farms Park in Fitchburg. A celebration of Italian food, culture, and fun. Live music, cultural exhibits, children's entertainers, and a pasta eating contest. Festa Italia, 2 days of live music, fun, and Italian food.
Rider Chip, just taking a break. That window's a bear.
Don't worry, my cousin's got a guy.
Hey, I'm not sure I can help you with the house gas, but I can help you replace this window fast.
Let the experts at Feldco kickstart your home renewal with 2-for-1 windows and no interest for 1 year. Plus, we'll get it done Feldco fast.
2-for-1 windows ends Friday. Hurry. Call now.
Call 866 for Feldco.
Thousands of our heroes face the difficult choice between keeping their heat and power on or facing homelessness. 21,000 Wisconsin veterans are living below the poverty line, many impacted by physical or mental health challenges. Wisconsin loses 3 veterans to suicide every week. Together, our mission is to provide all struggling Wisconsin veterans with a critical survival safety net that keeps them safely in their homes. You can make a real difference by providing a donation to the Wisconsin Heat and Housing for Heroes initiative, with 95 cents of every dollar donated going directly to those right here in your community. Help by visiting www.heatforheroes.org or by calling 1-800-891-9276. That's 800-891-9276.
This is me, and this was my stubborn body fat. My name's Adrian, and Sonobello changed my life.
Sonobello is America's #1 cosmetic surgery specialist, and they permanently removed my body fat in just 1 visit.
After having 2 kids, my body, it changed a lot. I tried everything to lose the fat, but nothing seemed to work.
Sonobello's board-certified surgeons use micro-laser technology to safely target and remove your diet-resistant fat cells permanently on your stomach, back, chin, and more.
I've seen such dramatic results. My tummy is gone, my double chin is gone, and my hourglass shape is back. This was the mommy makeover that I deserved.
Schedule your free, no-obligation consultation and find out how you can get $250 off instantly. Call 1-888-357-3263 or go to sonobello.com.
Festa Italia, June 1st and 2nd in McKee Farms Park in Fitchburg. Music performances on a concert stage by Joe Scalisi, John Lucino Band, Purple Veins, Jerry DiMaggio, and VO5. Festa Italia, 2 days of live music, fun, and Italian food.
Well, it has been hard to score runs off Cubs rookie pitcher Shota Imanaga this year, but the Brewers, well, they had no problems tonight. Christian Yelich would greet him in the very first inning. A two-run shot to right center field to make it 2-0 Brewers early. Yelich's 6th homer of the season, but his first since way back on April 10th. 2 innings later, 3-1 Brewers now. Gary Sanchez with a 2-run double to the wall in left field. That would make it 5-1. No shortage of runs for Milwaukee tonight. Brewers beat the Cubs up 4.5 games now in the division. 10-6 the win tonight. Major League Baseball has incorporated the statistics of former Negro League players into the historical records on its website. It means legendary leaders in some categories have now been replaced in the record books by players who were not allowed to play on the same fields during segregation. Among them, Josh Gibson, now listed as MLB's new all-time career leader in batting average, replacing Ty Cobb. Gibson also now overtakes Babe Ruth in career slugging percentage. Bob Kendrick, president of the Negro League Baseball Museum in Kansas City, calls the inclusion of Negro League stats in the MLB record books historic.
It is absolutely a watershed moment for both black baseball and Negro League's history. And I do believe that all of us, family members of those players of the Negro Leagues, that small existing number of Negro Leaguers who are still with us, and of course, all of us here at the Negro Leagues Baseball Museum who are stewards of this story.
Well, more than 2,300 Negro League players from 1920 to 1948 were added to the MLB database, and more stats are still being discovered. This after MLB recognized the Negro Leagues as its equivalent in December of 2020. Criminal charges tonight against top pro golfer Scottie Scheffler have been dropped. This after Scheffler was arrested in Louisville in mid-May during the PGA Championship, accused of assaulting a police officer with his vehicle as he tried to get to his tee time during a massive traffic jam after an accident. The arresting officer claimed he was dragged by Scheffler's vehicle, but his body cam was not activated at the time of that incident. Prosecutors told a judge today they did not have enough evidence to pursue a case against the 27-year-old.
For Mr. Scheffler's actions and the evidence surrounding their exchange during this misunderstanding do not satisfy the elements of any criminal offenses.
It's not Scottie's desire to pursue civil litigation. I've made that clear to the county. That was not some sort of quid pro quo regarding the criminal case.
After entering the tournament as one of the favorites, Scheffler finished tied for 8th place. Stay with us. Jacob's back. One final check of your First Warn forecast right after this.
Shop the Row Furniture Factory Authorized Sale and save up to half off at Dwellings. Sofas, chairs, sectionals, and ottomans. You choose the style and the fabric, all up to 50% off. Dwellings Interior Design and Home Furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
Blackberry Smoke. Live in concert. Be Right Here tour. Saturday, July 6th at Ho Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets on sale now at Ticketmaster. Don't miss Blackberry Smoke live.
Get an 11% rebate on everything at Menards. Find the perfect outdoor lighting for your patio and walkway with Patriot Lighting. These solar LED landscape lights let you choose between bright white or color-changing mode. Now just $297 each after rebate. Menards carries a variety of ceiling fans for you to add elegance to any room. Find your style with this Abner ceiling fan from Patriot Lighting. Only $79.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
Celebrate Memorial Day at Brothers Maine, where unbeatable appliance deals come with expert advice. Enjoy special prices and free delivery on top brands like Whirlpool, Maytag, and KitchenAid. Visit us today and feel like family at Brothers Maine.
This irresistible gift, just moments before, was filled with delicious snacks from Nuts.com. Create your own combination for Father's Day or choose from Nuts.com's favorite gift baskets and tins with every flavor of happy. Get 20% off plus free shipping with your first order.
When a crane collapsed during construction of a Major League sports stadium, 3 workers lost their lives. Their widows called us. When maintenance workers were permanently injured by an industrial accident at a public utilities power plant, the 7 injured workers called us. When a factory exploded, injuring dozens of workers, 18 victims, including all 3 families of men who lost their lives, called us. Because Wisconsinites know who to call when it's a must-win scenario. They call Habish, Habish & Rotier. National reputation, hometown service.
From midnight tweets to drinking bleach to tear-gassing citizens and staging a photo op, we knew Trump was out of control when he was president. Then he lost the 2020 election and snapped, desperately trying to hold on to power. Now he's running again, this time threatening to be a dictator, to terminate the Constitution.
If I don't get elected, it's going to be a bloodbath.
Trump wants revenge, and he'll stop at nothing to get it.
I'm Joe Biden, and I approve this message.
Shop the Row Furniture Factory Authorized Sale and save up to half off at Dwellings. Sofas, chairs, sectionals, and ottomans. You choose the style and the fabric, all up to 50% off. Dwellings Interior Design and Home Furnishings. Still Madison's best kept $150 secret.
The First Warn Weather Team takes you beyond the barometer. Only on News 3 Now.
The Late Show with Stephen Colbert.
That's right, Jack.
Weeknights on CBS.
Finally tonight, it is an election year, of course, and some students in the Las Vegas suburb of Henderson are casting their ballots, not for political office, but on their favorite ice cream flavors. The contest to pick the overall favorite started with 8 different ice cream flavors and was narrowed down to 4 earlier this year. Those flavors: cookies and cream, vanilla, chocolate, and bubble gum.
Why are you exercising your vote to vote on ice cream?
It's good practice for when I'm an adult.
That is very, very good practice. The city of Henderson said the results of the vote would be posted on social media, with the top 2 flavors moving on to the general election in November. Early voting has already begun for Nevada, by the way, ahead of next month's June 11th primary election there. Zach, by the way, was out tonight emceeing the Madison Hall of Fame sports banquet there, so a big special night for Madison. Zach will be back tomorrow. Meanwhile, forecast, final check with Jacob.
Finally looking a little bit calm, at least for the rest of this week. We could see that rainfall Friday night into early Saturday, but most of Friday and later in the day Saturday will be dry. Temperatures will also be in the 70s, at least for highs. For the beginning of next week, we'll see those highs back near 80. We are expecting some thunderstorms, though, especially Monday. That's the best chance for rain. But we also could see some storms Tuesday, Wednesday, maybe even Sunday as well, but it does look like the rain will hold off until Monday. Overall, though, enjoy the calm weather. I certainly enjoy it.
Yeah, no alert days in there. Finally.
Exactly.
Good to see you, Jacob. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10, folks. Have a great night.